Okay, so here we are in front of the iconic Manchester United at Old Trafford once again, and you need to just walk straight down, and you will be in the cricket stadium.
I see the
You can see the lights
I
there.
can see where I belong.
So she belongs there. Actually, she belongs there, and the next place where she belongs is Cartoon Network. So that's also there. But the truth is, the Indian players had visited United, or rather met United players. United as a brand is massive in India. Tell me, you belong there, I know. Give me the name of one United player. Do you know?
Harry Maguire.
Papre, Gargi Raut scores 20 out of 10 with that answer.
Okay, what do I get now?
But incredible.
What merchandise?
The road there is Sir Alex Ferguson Way. Perhaps the greatest United stalwart of all time. At a time when I was a student, it was Sir Alex Ferguson time. It was Wayne Rooney time. Before that, David Beckham time. Time to induct Gargi into some football, but that's for later. For now, why don't you take over and give me what your team is? Is Anshul Kamboj and Shardul Thakur playing?
Gosh.
Having seen practice, United 15th last time round in the league.
Yeah.
India will want to finish far higher at Old Trafford and get it to 2-2.
This is an offside. This is very... See how I snuck?
She's actually referring to football terminologies in a cricket show and saying offside.
This is an offside selection. Very tricky at this point, because what do? Do you give that?
You actually meant off field and you said offside. That's okay.
No, but that offside...
वो trap था. ठीक है, अभी बताइए आप. No problem.
It's not,
Offside में selection नहीं होता है, वो goal cancel हो जाता है.
हाँ.
No problem नहीं, आप बताइए.
ठीक है, मैंने try किया.
हाँ, आप cricket में रहिए.
Yes, what is important is that you try. Okay, coming back to cricket. Now, what do you do with this tricky situation? Because you don't have... It doesn't seem likely that Akash Deep will play. We reported on it yesterday as well. Even after that fitness test that he went through, he did not take part in any of the fielding drills, mind you. He was not a participant of any of those warm-up sessions or fielding drill sessions, but he had that side-by-side on the centre wicket. He was there with Morne Mokkal.
But he said to me in Bangla that is fine. He
will obviously say
when
that.
When he was going, you remember we had that chat, and for quite a while, he said, "Ami bhalo hoye gechi."
Did you see how he was climbing up the stairs?
I agree with you. I said to you when we both saw he was joined, he was sort of jumping the thing. Yes.
Walking like, I can't.
Yes. No, I know what you're saying.
Play that video.
But he said to me in Bangla that, "No, ami ekdom bhalo achi." So
yeah, maybe he's well.
From the heart.
From the heart, but not his injury.
I don't think he'll play. I agree with you.
I don't think so either. Because you know what? If his body language also after that fitness test.
How do you risk him?
Exactly. You've got one more test. You've got one more test, and it's likely that, Jasprit Bumrah might not play in that test. So why not give Akash Deep that cushion of extra 10, 15 days or 1 week, whatever the turnaround time is, and actually have him play at the Oval? Why risk him at this point? Because if this gets any more serious, it could mean 6-7 months out of cricket. Why do you want that to happen? You can't put a player's career on the line.
So Prasid or Anshul?
Anshul.
And why you reckon Anshul?
Anshul,
by the way, it's starting to drizzle in Manchester, and that's fine, because Manchester will be like this. It's spitting. The cricket will also see this multiple times, but with this kind of spitting, we are seeing blue there. We see some gloom behind us. They will not stop. The umpires by now know what they need to stop with. Look, this will stop by the time, or it will get heavier. So we will see either or. We were driving from a place, and it was pouring down. By the time we got off from our Uber, it stopped raining. That's Manchester. Anshul Kamboj, why?
Anshul Kamboj, because he gives you that movement. Nothing else. I mean, Prasidh Krishna, I'm not sure if... Look, this is not what I am saying. This is what I think will happen. I don't think the management will get a Prasidh Krishna back in. Yes, he did well in Edgbaston, but the kind of bowling, the kind of wayward bowling, indisciplined bowling that he bowled back in Leeds, it cost you the match. It was one of the reasons. He was the most expensive bowler there. And honestly, Prasidh Krishna could have done so much better. But I think it's going to be Anshul. And one of the reasons why I'm saying that is because of the net session that I saw yesterday.
What did you see there? I actually want that decoded.
Okay. So Anshul Kamboj, we all throughout this test series, leading up to the 3 test matches, we have been talking about this main net that we are seeing, where the players that are most likely to to feature in the playing 11 will be in that net. It will be supervised by a Gautam Gambhir, it will be supervised by a Mone Mokal or a Ryan Tindoskate. But this time around, yesterday what I saw was, with Mohammad Siraj, Jasprit Bumrah, it was Anshul Kamboj who started the bowling session.
And you said Shardul Thakur.
And Shardul Thakur as well. So these 4 bowlers were actually had the new ball. They were bowling to KL Rahul and Yashasvi Jaiswal. They are your opening pair. So this net is not to be fluffed around with. And Prasidh Krishna was actually just standing there at the very end and watching this all unfold. Gautam Gambhir
but thereafter Devashish reported to us both that Prasidh bowled full tilt. So there is always that option. Huh? Yes. I mean, we must make that very clear to our viewers that there is that option that Prasidh Krishna also bowled full tilt. But from what she's reporting, the initial burst was Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj, Shardul Thakur and Anshul Kamboj. So please understand, we are decoding the nets for you and trying to understand what can happen. Okay, it's like a football manager's job. I can predict, okay, something will go on off field, up there. Should I make this replacement? Put on someone out there at the park, and can something happen? That's what we are trying to do here. Take over again.
I mean, this could go either way. It could be a Prasidh Krishna. Maybe you can trust him with experience. He's bowled for you in Australia. He's bowled for you in this series as well. He did well in Edgbaston. But
Old Trafford is more for movement rather than hit the deck.
Exactly my point. If this was a Lords and this was the situation happening back in Lords, maybe I would have had a Prasidh Krishna in the team. But right now, it makes more sense to have Anshul Kamboj because he gives you that lateral movement. If Arshdeep Singh was available,
he would have had his debut.
He was 100% starter in the team. Now, I think it's at a very unfortunate time that this injury of Arshdeep Singh's came, but it would have been the best thing for the team if Arshdeep had made it to the team. Unfortunately, it's not, so you have to make do with what you have. And Anshul Kamboj, I don't see any other reason why Anshul Kamboj would be flown in when you have a Prasidh Krishna there.
Fair point, but I will also say that if you go and look at Prasidh Krishna's batting record, if you look at his batting record, it's better than a Prasidh Krishna. Sorry, Anshul Kamboj's batting record. My mistake.
Exactly.
Anshul Kamboj gives you that late order batting that a Prasidh Krishna doesn't. Anshul Kamboj, Ranji Trophy, List A games, multiple times you will see, has made a contribution with the bat. And how many runs did you lose by? 22. So even if it's a 10-run contribution lower down the order, this series has been like that. At Leeds, if India could have added 20-30 more runs and taken that second innings lead to 400, could have been a different game. Lords, you lost by 20 runs. Had there been a lower order who would have contributed 10 more, things could have been different. It's been that close a series. So when India takes a call, if it's a 50-50 call and then one has the batting ability, just like Anshul Kamboj has, could that tilt the kind of scales in favor of Anshul Kamboj? I think India will also keep that in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and we have been seeing this throughout the series, that they want that cushion in batting. That if you're up against a team like England, who backed in number 9,
now
and 10. Have now 10 with Liam Dawson. So now you're batting till number 10. And they have quality batters. Bryden Cast, Chris Wokes, Liam Dawson can do some real damage at this point. So if you're competing with that, you need to bat till minimum number 8. And if you have an Anshul Kamboj there, I think those lower order contributions make so much difference. Like you pointed out, Leeds, Lords, you could have made that difference with 10-15 extra runs. Even 20 extra runs could have made the difference. It is the difference between win and loss.
I entirely agree. And like we said, the rain has completely stopped, as you can see. That gloom is still there. This side is entirely blue. So by the time we came, can we even recognize that it was pouring cats and dogs? What, 20 minutes back, 25 minutes back? That's Manchester or Rainchester. Second question that we need to tackle, again, there is a difference of opinion within our team. Trisha reckons Sai Sudarshan. She made that point to me in India's practice session yesterday. Sai Sudarshan was fielding at Gully, is absolutely a viable option. But is it going to be Sai Sudarshan? Is it going to be Shardul Thakur as a possible replacement for Nitish Kumar Reddy? Again, this is an open-ended call. Like for like, possibly Shardul Thakur, because Anshul Kamboj's inclusion will give India that little bit of extra cushion that the batting can be made up. Shardul Thakur or Sai Sudarshan?
I think it's going to be Shardul Thakur because yesterday as well he was bowling with the new ball. He could not make a difference at Leeds because he was not bowling with the new ball. He got the ball 40 over late. Shardul Thakur bowling after 40 plus overs had already been bowled. First innings, the ball was soft. He couldn't do much. And we know that Shardul Thakur can move the ball really well. So in these conditions, Shardul can make a difference. Plus, it's a like-for-like replacement. At Lords, you saw what can happen when an all-rounder, when Nitish Kumar Reddy was handed the ball early, he actually made a difference. He got you 2 very, very important wickets. So if you deploy that same strategy with the Shardul Thakur, you might as well get more breakthroughs.
What is also important to the point that she's making, yes, Nitish Kumar Reddy, I think, came on in the 13th over at Lords, got those 2 wickets, slipped there, and that second ball, I mean, first one, Duckett was a rank, perhaps the worst ball of that session, where Duckett got out. But that second ball was perhaps the ball of the session. Pitched on middle, jump, took off, glove, caught. But the point that I'm trying to make here is Shardul Thakur will have to make a tangible contribution with the bat as well. Shardul Thakur had a very good warm-up game. He scored 100 in that warm-up game. Got some runs even in the match against England A. So Shardul Thakur has had a decent Ranji season with the bat. He can score. In this country in the past, Thakur has multiple times made a contribution with the bat. He's no mark. So based on one test match, don't say Shardul Thakur is not good enough.
Yeah.
We can't say that. You know, our problem in India is Sai Sudarshan, bogus. Karun Nair, bogus. X, bogus. Arey, come on, boss. I mean, you've got to give people a little bit of time. Shardul has played one game in Leeds. Say, you know, and yes, agreed that he did not bat well. But that doesn't, even Jadeja did not bat well in Leeds. Or somebody else did not, Shubman Gill did not bat well at Lords. But that doesn't tell you that Shubman Gill is a bad batter. Or for that matter, Joe Root failed in the first 2 tests, came and got 100. Our problem is we are very impatient. As a society, we are impatient. And we treat our cricketers like that. Junk this guy, get so-and-so in, make multiple changes. The good part about somebody like a Gill and Gautam so far is they've been able to cocoon themselves. Yesterday also, if you see the camaraderie within the team, the practice session, the involvement, the shouting, the banter, the fun, I thought was excellent to see despite the team being 1-2 down. Different from Australia.
100% different from Australia. Australia, you know, when you walked into those practice sessions, you could feel the tension in the air. And I remember that Sydney practice session where
Rohit Sharma.
Things went down. Rohit Sharma being dropped. Your captain was not performing. And your dressing room looked so gloomy at that point. And I remember very clearly, you could cut the tension with a knife. It was that bad back in Australia. But this time around, it's very different. And look, Shubman Gill talks about it very openly, that he believes in having a bond with the younger guys, even the older ones. He believes that before you're cricketers, you need to be friends. You don't need to be, but you need to have that bond to sort of be in a healthy environment in that dressing room. And that is what Shubman Gill has been able to cultivate so well. I think the fact that he talks about clarity, the fact that he talks about security and giving a long rope to players who have shown potential, it all shows great signs of a leader and perhaps tells you also why BCCI has been so adamant about Shubman Gill taking over the team.
When you mentioned Gill, I think the other point that we must mention on this live and something again we will look forward to is the return of Pant.
Oh.
Pant as a leader, not just as a keeper. Yes, you did that. Pant as a keeper, absolutely critical in that Indian wheel. Pant will make a contribution. But Pant as a leader, rallying around the field, talking to Gill, speaking to players, all of that stuff. The return of Rishabh Pant, I think, is one of the biggest things in this test match for India.
100%. And we have been making this point over and over again that Rishabh Pant as a leader makes so much difference behind the stumps. Dhruv Jurel has been doing well when we talk about keeping in those last 2 days at Lords. But the impact that Shubman Gill has with the impact that Rishabh Pant has with a Shubman Gill in tandem, the way that they set the fields, the way that they back their bowlers, I think that was what was missing in the last 2 days. That's why the intensity sort of went down. When India wasn't doing well, Rishabh Pant is so good at hyping those players up, hyping the bowlers up as well. I think that support, you need that. You need it for Shubman Gill and you need it for the bowlers as well.
It's time to kind of focus back on the practice and give you the schedule for today. You're watching this at 12. It's now 12:15 India time is when you're watching this broadcast. Exactly about 2 hours from now, Gargi and I will once again be live from Old Trafford with England practice. So we will start today with England practice. Devashish, Trisha, Rohan will join us. You will see the Bangla live. You will see the there's some information coming our way, and I'll actually finish this show quite interestingly. Okay, yeah. So what we will do, wait. We will throw to what Trisha just told us to do and we'll follow that. But the interesting part is, in 2 hours, as I said, we'll be joining you from Old Trafford with the English practice. Thereafter, we'll join you with the India practice. But Manchester is all about red and blue. This city is half red and half blue. You are seeing behind me is all red. Rohan, if you can show, this side, even the car park is all red. See, the car park, the signs, car parks, everything at this part is red. And if you just go to the other side of the city, to the city center, this is Old Trafford. If you go to the city center and go to the other part of the city, it's blue. Rohan, you keep that now. Keep that now. No, keep the. So now we will actually try and do something interesting. The two of us are in the frame and we'll encourage 2 more people to come into the frame and show you how we are also Manchester. Mr. Sen, please come in. Mr. Chaudhary, please come in. Look at this. You've got blue and you've got red. So here you go. The 2 of us were doing cricket, but different clubs. Who cares? This guy is going Aston Villa. This guy is going Forest. But the truth is blue and red. This is Manchester. And Ms. Ghoshal also come in. So this is our full team, folks. At least more than half the team. We've got Rohit Juglan, Shubha and Amit Shah missing here and Shormishta. But this is what we will do from Old Trafford. Whether it's Indian camaraderie or not, whether it's English camaraderie or not, this is the Rev Sports camaraderie that will keep coming to you. We throw you to yesterday's practice visuals and promise to come back with today's practice visuals. Thank you for watching.